Hey, what's up guys? My name is Fox and welcome to another video. And today's video is, well, this video is going to be really positive. I know I've been ranting a lot and I know I've been talking a lot about Lost Ark, about Amazon and how I feel about the game. And I was quite upset, as probably most of you know by now, because the game that we had so far wasn't really a game that I was playing. And a lot of people were upset. A lot of people made videos about it. They talked about it on Twitter or social media in general. And most of all, Asmongold made a very big video that got a really big reach, even beyond NA or EU. It also got some reach in Korea. And people in general just were upset. And, well, I can say Amazon listened, or Smilegate listened. We still don't know who is at fault for the mistakes that were made, but it never mattered who was at fault. What mattered is what we're gonna have going into the future. And I am more than satisfied and more than happy with the update that just got out, honestly. And I want to take you through this a little bit. This is probably going to be a bit longer because it's quite a long text. I'm not going to read everything. I already read it, but I'm just going to go over it really quickly and highlight a few of the important things. All right. So Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG message from the team. They've been working together on this, right? Came out just like around 20 minutes ago. And we're going to look at this real quick. And then I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I was going to make a video about what Amazon should do. And honestly, they quite done that. They pretty much did that. Anyway, so basically in the first paragraph, they're just talking about how it's been a month and that it's now that they have been working together with Smilegate for all of this. This paragraph basically talks about how this is new to them and how they've been working together again with Smilegate. And then there's a few really important things in my opinion, right? They said that in other regions, players had to stay in tier 1 and tier 2 for a considerable amount of time. But our version launched with everything, basically, right? So the first two tiers are designed as a mid-game prologue for the wealth of endgame tier 3, which is correct. Absolutely right. Now here you say, as Gold River Lost Ark Game Director, you are progressing at your own speed and enjoying horizontal content, which is very true. Also for me, I've been doing a lot of horizontal content, especially during the time where the servers weren't working in EU Central. And some of us, they say some of you are already on tier 3 and a lot of players are progressing through tier 1 and tier 2. I wish I could see actual numbers on this. I would just be curious about how many people are in tier 2, how many people are in tier 1. I think having a number on that would be really interesting, right? But according to the phrasing here, it's much more players are still in tier 1 and tier 2, which is what I also expected, to be honest. Now, the Western version of Lodon, which load content and above 1370, such as Night Fox, Yoho, Valganos, Guardians, World Bosses, which is all very true. There was already content in game that was above the item level of 1370, but that was no problem because that content wasn't that crazy or wasn't that significant. And this is not the important part. With that, in important context, let's talk about Argos. We've seen player concerns that releasing Argos before a significant portion of player base had progressed through tier 3 made Lost Ark feel pay to win. Yes. We never wanted players to feel rushed to their quest to hit item level 1370. Oh, we were rushed if you wanted to do this. We considered having Argos available at launch. That would have been a bit crazy to me personally, but at the same time it would have kind of changed the perception of all of this probably a lot. But that doesn't matter. It didn't happen, so doesn't matter. Through the lens, we wanted to give Argos a spotlight and special introduction into Arcasia. This is, in my opinion, very important because Argos is the first hard raid in the game. You can argue that Valganos, which is item level 1385, is also quite hard, which definitely is, but it's not comparable to Argos, which has a different feel to it, in my opinion. Then here, very important, we made a mistake. And this is, in my opinion, super important. This phrase says they are admitting fault, which I really like because it's hard sometimes for a company to get that they admit a fault. And here we see the wording is really something to focus on. And I'm happy to see this because this means that they can admit that they made a mistake. And I really like that because it was a mistake. And just the fact that they admit that makes me quite happy personally. It really, really does. Because that shows that they are listening. And that is something that is extremely valuable because we were in the dark for so long, and this update in general is really important, honestly. Data we analyzed alongside Smite RPG from their previous launches projected that a larger portion of the players would have reached the level required to challenge Argos. Could have. But, however, we overlooked a certain variable, such as players spending more time on horizontal content. Now, this is something I think is not really important. I'm not sure why this is in here, to be honest, because here, a few lines earlier, they say, Lost Ark, games recommend you are progressing at your own speed. So why is this relevant? But that doesn't matter, it's not important. Right, so here we go on horizontal content. Price of honing material is increasing due to bots and real money transactions. Exactly. So because we had quite a significant amount of whales, especially on the NA servers, there were a lot of swipers. Material prices increase a lot. The way you currently make gold in Lost Ark is by selling your materials that you earn and save up your gold. Usually that's not exactly how it works. Usually you generate gold by going into instances like the Oriah Hard Void dungeons, Argos Abyss dungeons, and later on the Legion raids. You generate gold to buy materials from people that sell them. But in this case, the gold generated from the Oriah Hard dungeon, for example, or from Argos are so insignificant compared to what you get from selling materials. So material prices are just simply too high because there's not enough materials in the game. These factors contributed a scarcity of 3D honing materials together. Our teams at Amazon Smite are continuing to gather data on play patterns in Western version to better inform our future content roadmap. We appreciate the patience and support we've seen from the community while we continue to learn together and work on updating our roadmap, and apologize for the confusion of our early excitement has generated. Here also, wording very important, they are apologizing. Again, something that is quite important, I think, and should not be overlooked. Here they say, after analyzing data and listening to our player feedback across all our community channels, we believe that an update that helps adventurers progress with the content currently in-game is more important than releasing new endgame content. Absolutely agree. We'll expand on this below in the honing section. With that said, players should feel encouraged to progress at whatever pace they're most comfortable with. This is something I also obviously agree with. If you don't want to do Argos right now, then you shouldn't push for that. You should never feel pressure to push. If you don't care about endgame content on release, that is absolutely fine. But at the same time, if you do care about endgame content on release, you should be able to reach it, right? It's a bit, yeah, this is my point of view on that. Let's see a bit now. There's a lot of like, here is something that's really important. Let's move on to cosmetic skins and advanced classes. As we read forums, watch streams and videos, check in on Discord, and hop in game. We've seen feedback that players would like skins and advanced class to be released at an accelerated rate. Super important. People want skins and the other class because a lot of people know already that they want to main something else. This is really, really important. So I'm really happy they also touch on this subject, because this is unrelated to the current big issue, but that's a smaller issue that is also addressed, also super important, just that they tackle on this. These two categories of content are entwined, which is one of the reasons that speeding it up is too tricky. Existing skins in Korean versions were released before some classes. Very true. For example, there was, I think, no Striker or Gunslinger skin of the Omen for the Omen, if I believe, in Korea. So they need to be a bit changed for the new classes, basically. They're saying we're releasing skins at a faster rate than they were originally in Korea. Very true. But you also release content faster, so... And we will continue listening to player feedback about the tempo of their release. Similarly, classes will be released faster. Very good. And our goal is to catch up. As we release new content in the game, we want to add new classes that complement that content. More classes will be available soon, and we'll share specifics in the upcoming roadmap. This is not a roadmap, but it's something, right? So this is super important, right? So here they're just explaining why this is happening, like why the bots are ruining the market board a little bit right and left, why bots are a problem. Now here comes the important part. I wanted to make a video about what Amazon should do about this issue, and my first suggestion, it was never to change the honing rates, because honing rates should not be touched until Vaulton, especially tier 3. Tier 1 and tier 2 is a different story. I believe making tier 1 and tier 2 progression wouldn't be a bad thing at all. To make it easier would not be bad at all, because tier 1 and tier 2 can be very frustrating for new players because of honing fails, and because usually it's people that have one character that are still there, right? And injecting honing materials is literally the best way to solve this issue, because upgrading the tier 3 honing chances is not a good solution right now, in my opinion. I always said that I don't think that's the solution we should be looking for. This is the best solution because that is what is also lacking in our version. We are lacking content to have more honing materials to make them cheaper. That is the problem. And now we're going to get more honing materials. So basically, in the next week's update, we will provide additional Grand Prix honing rewards, introduce a new casual event Guardian raids to supply players with more honing materials. Let's have a look at what this is, Event Guardian Raids. In this event, you can enjoy Guardian Raids in a more casual way. Relax, play, and get honing rewards. Similar to the Grand Prix, you can enter once a day per roster and earn event-specific coins to spend on rewards at a new vendor. That means that we have one Guardian a day more than we have currently, which is obviously nice. I mean, I like that, obviously. It's different than it was on Russia or Korea, so it's really something special now. But basically, it is similar. All these Guardians here, Helgaia, Frostlagal, Lumerus, Ornil, Virtus, Chromadium, Darkrosena, Dark Ligors, and all of those are synced to the item level. So basically, if you enter, you will be on the item level of the Guardians, and you get more honing materials. Then here, we're adding tailoring books and metallurgy books to the reward table for the Akiza Grand Prix. For those of you that don't know what this is honing chance upgrade materials. These are not the ones that you get from like the maps or anything, but these are the ones that drop from Abyss dungeons that you now can buy with the event currency. That is a small increase to your honing chances, so this is also something very good. And this is insanely big. Season 1 of Competitive Proving Grounds will release in next week's update. That means that you can exchange your PvP materials, your PvP coins for materials, basically. That is very big, and we have so many more. If this is exactly what I wanted to see in a game to be added. Not honing chance increases, but more materials, and that is what's happening. And they're bound materials. They're not going to go onto the market board. They're materials that the ones from the Guardians can be unbound possibly, but I think the ones from PvP are bound, if I'm not wrong, but I could be wrong. But it doesn't matter. More materials is important. Now, on top of that, we get actually really cool stuff. Makes me super excited because they got this just on Korea, like literally on Korea. And now we get this here. All right, they're giving us basically here, to unpack above, with contact information. You may have questions, concern, feedback, communicate. We sincerely appreciate the enthusiasm and support we received in the first month since launch. Before we wrap up, if there's one thing reports saw that it's that people loved gifts. Yes, of course. Soccer fans around the world are celebrating all new players now enjoying the game they love. Players in Korea received gifts to commemorate the Western launch of the game. This is very true. And we wanted everyone to be included. We're so grateful for all of you that have joined us and started this adventure. We're excited about the long future ahead. To help us with this journey, enjoy a gift of cosmetics and useful materials. You'll receive this gift on March 21st. Right, so new animal skin selection chest, Mokokon pets. Well, let's look at this later. Let's go Moko board selection, Lost Ark United structure, appearance change ticket. That's nice. That's very nice. Fans, 132 fans. That is crazy. This is very valuable. This is a lot of value. Menelik's tome is for the cards. This is also nice. And this here, legendary card pack selection chest. Ooh, that is insane. And then Jukebox songs that we provided when Jukebox content is released in the future. We're getting this here. We're getting these boards. We're getting these pets, and these are actually really cute. Let's be honest here. I mean, getting something for our estate. The boards are also really cute. Honestly, like this is really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Animal skin selection. So this is one of those skins here, I would say. Right? Yeah, they were very commonly seen on Russia. I have seen a lot of those. So I was really negative about all of this, as most of you know, but seeing this makes me very happy. It really does. It really, really does. You guys have no idea, because this really shows they listened. And this doesn't feel to me like a short-term fix. You know, it doesn't feel like they're just trying to fix something real quick. It looks like this is a long-term effort a post, it feels like a very honest post to me, you know, honestly. It feels like a very decent post. Sure, there's probably things I could have done better, but at the moment, I don't want to think about that. Because I'm just extremely happy to have read this, to have gotten this. Because I was concerned for Lost Ark. I was concerned for the game. And I think most of my concerns are, for now, silenced. And I'm really happy about that, honestly. That's really it. You guys know me. I will always tell you what I think. I will never be a shill. I will never say something that is a lie just to please someone. So in this case, I'm happy. And I think this is good. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are also very excited about the news. Obviously, I'm going to link them in the description below if you haven't read this yet, so you can read it for yourself real quick. And if you guys liked the video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. And on that note, I am wishing you all an amazing rest of your day. My day is nearly over. It's midnight here. Wherever you live.